Good evening. How are you all doing? Tripsy Whipsies into the first week of our extended lockdown. Cerys has obviously been getting a wee bit bored and she's just thought, you know what? She's got a wee surprise for you tonight, guys, and I won't ruin it. I won't give it away. We'll just, without further ado, when the D does Posh show with Cerys Nelmes. So let's get Cerys Nelmes on. Match.
Yeah. Well, that's why I did it. I thought I'd fuck around a little bit with my hair. Oh, that's what you do when you're bored in lockdown. You all right?
No, I like it. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you that story straight away. I mean, obviously my gran passed away and it's a funeral tomorrow, right? And I got this dead sentimental thing online. It is funny, right? I know I started off morbid, right? But I thought I'm going to get this rose and I'm going to name it my gran's rose. But no, I'm not going to get it just already started for you. I'm going to get it at the cheaper price, the £20 cheaper price. So my seeds came and I was going to go and plant it tomorrow. So I taken it up to my friend's dad, who then looked at it and he says, "You do realise these seeds need to be germinated for 3 months before we even think about planting them."
Yeah.
So the good thing is our rose will be starting flowering at our first year anniversary, but it certainly won't be showing any signs of being planted this time soon.
I gardening shit just way over my head.
Hate it, man. I hate it. Hey, how you doing, Val? Absolutely hate it. I've really made the decision that, yeah, I'm so good at the DIY. I'm doing really well. I'm screwing up blinds and I'm feeling great for it. My soul is filling up. I'm feeling wonderful. And then I go to the garden and I just don't want to be there.
No. Well, I bought these lush rainbow pots last week and I was at the garden centre and I said to the bloke, there was this lush rhododendron or some fucking flowery thing. And I was like, "Oh, that's really nice. Will I be able to kill it?" And he's like, "It kind of just needs water." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then this bloke was like, "And it needs feeding twice a year." I was like, no, get fucked. Nah. Stop with your feeding shit. I just need something to sit in the garden where it is. When it rains, it gets fed. When it's sunshine, it sees the sunlight. That's it.
See, back in the days, already my fans know when I did rehab, right? One of the first things that they give you is a plant, right? Hi, Robert. And what they say to you is that you shouldn't, obviously you've done your recovery, you're through a different road, you've come out a different person, that's fact. So they tell you not to do relationships, right? They tell you you've got to have a plant, keep a plant alive for a year, right? And then after that, move on to a pet. And then think about a relationship. Well, I killed 6 plants and I've got 2 dogs and I've still not got a man.
Well, at least you've killed the plants and not the dogs. That's a good start. That's the better way round of the two.
It was one of those spider plants, the ones that are unkillable, the one if a bit breaks off, another one grows. That's what I managed to kill.
Lost its will to live. You were saying about your nan's thank you, Catherine, your nan's funeral's coming up and stuff. I just thinking back when you were saying that like that, because about putting stuff into the coffin, and I think back to my dad's funeral a couple of years ago. My stepmom filled my dad's coffin with so much shit. It was unbelievable. He had the best thing he had in there was a torch in case he needed it. He had a watch. He had a little guardian angel. He had a brochure of his football team that he used to support. He had their flag, their team scarf. He had a pillow made by his sister-in-law. He had photos, but not just photos in the photo frames. He had Lego like diggers, and because he used to work in a quarry. And I swear, every time I went back to the funeral home, the funeral director was like, "You need to stop her putting shit in the coffin." And it was just that I might as well have taken my dad out and just left all the shit in there. They're like, "We're not going to get the lid on."
Oh, I'm really sorry. This just doesn't look tidy. Can we just put the dead body in the bin and let's get the rest of the stuff organised?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was like, "I'm so sorry, Dad. You've got to live with all this shit in there."
I mean, the thing is, he's not going to wake up, you know. And the thing is, we've got a digger in there that's not real. But if he does wake up when he gets to church, and he can only just take the time until he's got no air left and dies anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I just, words fail me. I was at a loss. So it was just things people do, innit?
Yeah, the lockdown, it's like, I had a field day, and that's what I was saying to somebody. I was speaking to some other comedy guys earlier, and they're having a field day, obviously, because this thing with Boris and Nicola is just like comedy gold.
Oh.
You know, it's hilarious. It's like your mum's kicking your ass and telling you you're grounded for a month, and your dad's coming in and sneaking you out the back door.
Yeah. Go out, but don't tell your mum. Yeah, we haven't got a fucking clue what's going on out here. To be fair, I had to pop up my high street to get some milk this morning, and I thought it was going to be rammed, and it was like a ghost town, and I was like, they've all fucked off on holiday to France. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone to France. Where the fuck? But it was the quietest I've seen it. I didn't queue for the chemist, didn't queue for the co-op, didn't queue for Tesco's. No, like a handful of people in each. Nobody in the chemist at all, which is unheard of because the queue's normally halfway down the fucking street. So where have they all gone today? Have they all gone back to work? I don't know. Are they on their way to work, running or jogging or walking or on their bike?
I'll tell you one better than that. My friends, like father-in-law, they're really, really, really close, and he helps them a lot with the kids. But he is really old. I mean, I'm not sure how old, but I would suggest late 70s and his early 80s, right? And he just keeps coming and appearing in the house and walking in the door, and she's like having kittens going, you can't do this, you're a vulnerable group and that. And he's like, oh, come away. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. She's like, he said, but the COVID police won't see it like that.
No. Well, this is it. I can't work out if I was of a certain age, I'd be like, fuck me. If I've only got a few months left to live, I might as well be going out and seeing stuff and doing stuff rather than sitting in the house. And that's what obviously a load of older people are thinking like that and trying to push me mum out of the house, but she won't fucking go anywhere. She's just clinging on for dear life.
No, my mum's doing the whole thing at the fence. You know, I am dead bored, but cheers for that dinner. You know, I'm scunner. I said, you're no scunner. You're every 2 seconds talking to everybody that's walking by that gate. You are not scundering.
There is a man here, right? He's never in his house. He's put like he's sort of like on the entrance into kind of the town, and it's got like a big rainbow flag up saying, Woodton, we'll get through this. Thanks to the key workers and the NHS. And he's always out in his front garden just hammering something just so he can talk to people. And I'm like, oh, are you that lonely that you've just got to stay out? Because I've been in bed.
My friend is quite young, but I've just noticed, I think he did have like a cemented driveway. I wouldn't say there was anything much wrong with it, but obviously they can upgrade it if they like. That's their prerogative. But he's just sitting digging up a whole driveway. I'm just hoping he doesn't get bored halfway through.
Exactly. That's a nice message there.
Hiya, lovely. How good was your letter you got today? You have helped loads of people get through this shitty time. They better not start me again. I actually get to do. You wouldn't have seen it, right? I got a card. It's over on the table, so I can't get it. But obviously, it was my birthday about 2 weeks ago, the 1st of May. And this card just appeared today, and it said, D. Maxwell, comedian, Coburnie, ? Ayrshire, ? And then it said Scotland. And it got to me, and it was a card for a girl that said, I just wanted you to know that through this lockdown, I've been suicidal, blah, 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 that sort of thing. And you've helped me greatly. And I was just like, and I just crumbled. I think it's all the grief and everything just came out at once. And I was just like,
yeah.
Well, of course, Cerys and their Infinite Wisdom went on live and was trying to thank them, but hadn't composed herself completely yet.
This is the one thing, isn't it? Especially about online content, you do it, and you're like me. It's just saying it how it is. This is the shit we're going through. I don't know what anybody else is going through. My life's not that hard compared to other people out there. And you post stuff and you think, I really must be fucking some people off with the amount of stuff I post. And then you'll get that one message or the 2 messages going, without your videos or your stories or whatever, we wouldn't be laughing through this, which is good. And that's what.
Yeah, I just crumbled. I just went to my knees because, you know me, I've been like, right, guys, I've been like Snow White in the darkness. That's us. We're not making money. We're maybe on our arse. Let's whistle while we work, you know. But it did give me such a. I went, that's what I did it for. That's right there. I was just, it just was the icing on the cake. There's been loads of stuff happening, and I've been going against the grain with my personal stuff, and I just got that card, and I thought that's a wee universal message just to say, keep going. It's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's the thank you, Trisha. The thing is, well, what I like, I especially like, is people just send in stuff to the house. We asked. It was weird. We couldn't get hands on flour, and luckily we've got a couple of farm shops nearby. And this guy's like, I'll drop you round a couple of bags of flour. Brilliant, fantastic. He wouldn't accept the money for it, and I was like, oh, this is really sweet. And I've just taken them out the bag, and he's put in this really nice, expensive bar of chocolate in there as well. And I'm like, oh, this is really. And like I said, I got a care package from my sister the other day that's got all kinds of shit in it. Like, this is sort of essential oil dough, like squishy dough, like stressful dough, and like self-care ideas and just shit like that. And then one thing that we got a tray bake today. Somebody brought around a massive tray bake on our doorstep. I don't know whether you saw this. This arrived last week.
Oh, it's a Willie.
This is Pierre. Somebody sent this to me.
That is creepy as fuck. Imagine having a big knob in your bedroom staring. It looks like E.T. that E.T. with his balls dropped.
See, somebody said E.T. the other day, look, and the weird thing is,
E.T. went with a steamboat and had the big dick.
So this is Pierre, everybody.
That's actually more disturbing than the real McCoy.
See, I like it because I like rubbing his. What I find very therapeutic is rubbing his testicles. They're very smooth.
I suppose I'm going to get you rubbing any balls. Where did you buy them?
I say, wow, this is the only balls that I would like. This is the only penis I've touched in years, and he's quite cuddly and lovely. But
I think when I eventually touch a penis, I'm probably have a intimate moment with it where we just look at each other and I appreciate the length of time we haven't been able to connect with energy.
Yes, agreeing.
I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't get it. It's just like a mutated ET with big balls.
See, I'd love it if penises look like that rather than how they do, because I'd be like, oh yeah, I can make friends with you.
Nice. Penises look like old men. It's like giving you a preview of what they're going to look like in 40 years.
Which puts anybody off. Dick pics. Who would do the amount of dick pics?
Good friends, happy Monday. That's Kenny. That's my Flip the Mindset pal, who's hopefully coming on my new show on a Tuesday. I've just not got round to mailing you yet, but he does Flip the Mindset for mental health. He lost his brother. He's just got a baby recently, David, and I kept saying I was dead busy. I feel dead guilty about this. And I kept going to go up and up and up for the baby being born and David just been born. And then I kept putting it off because this happened and then lockdown happened and I've still not met my nephew and I'm quite like that. Oh, and he's a wee and he's just a great guy. He does fitness and stuff, but he's been through his own mental health battles and he's used fitness and inspiration to change his life. He was in football and he's in bad accident with his knees and stuff and he couldn't play football anymore. So he had to change his whole outlook and do bodybuilding and it was like a total change in dynamic. But he's an amazing guy. So big shout out to my big friend Kenny.
Yeah. By saying about like fitness and stuff, we've talked about it, like still struggling to get out of the house. And my friend, she just moved in not far away from here. And yesterday she messaged me and she said, how about coming out for a run with me this morning? And I had to pretend I hadn't seen the fucking message. I was like, I can't. I don't want to go out and run. She's like really fit. I was like, oh my God, I just pretend I didn't see the message. I won't message her back. Well, lo and behold, who did I bump in today? And she went, you didn't reply to me? I was like, yeah, do you know what, Charlotte? Nah, it's not. I didn't want you to see it. I was just pretending. I'm not coming out with you running. But I have done an exercise class this morning. I did a 30-minute HIIT session, which nearly killed me. And I've kind of just got to keep on top of that.
Online.
Yeah. I used to do like a couple of years ago, Millionaire Hoy, and he used to have a few that I really, really liked because I don't like a lot of floor work. I don't like the mention of burpees. You can pretty much fuck off Like,
I hate
I
burpees,
don't
man.
want
See, even when I was really, really fit, I hated them. I hated them. Honestly, it was the
I love
worst thing
doing
ever.
like Millionaire Hoy's a bit like kicking and I like all his punching and side to side jabs or whatever else. But then he went offline because he had a lot of shit on YouTube or something. So it went private to subscription only. So I lost all the really nice ones that I love. Both pink hairstyles. There you go. Dee's got pink as well. Yeah. But he's now come back online. But the trouble is, the videos he's putting back online since lockdown are pro. So it's a 500 calorie, 30-minute workout, which isn't me. No. So he's doing it like it's all mountain climbers and fucking frog twists and shit like that. So I've just got to find one that I'm kind of happy with, that I can kind of do every morning because I'm up early.
I've been walking 10K every day, and
that is brilliant.
And actually, because if you you need to have a rest day. Why do people keep saying this? I was trained in gym industry. You only need a rest day from muscle work. You don't need a rest day from walking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing with as well, what's that, JM Jules? But yeah, I was just sitting laughing. Everybody's like, have you tuned into all the chats? I'm just keeping my head down. I've still got a room to decorate. You know, there's things that I still need to do. So I'm just getting on with it. But I was standing in Tesco's today and was waiting in the queue, and this guy's going, I mean, come on. I mean, I know everybody's Dean and that. Like, it was just blasé. He says, but I'm fair missing a pint. And I thought, the human condition is very, very strange. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're dying for a pint, but you're not worried about the people actually dying. That's really higher both. Do you deserve it? Do you remember you got me out my house after 3 years to see the monarch in Dunfermline? I gave you a card and a necklace, bless your heart. You'd think I'd gave you £1,000,000. No, but you gave me something wonderful. It was a nice gift, and I do remember it. And you come out with your walking stick, and you suffer with various different mental health. You're quite a wee woman with dark hair, and I think you came with your daughter or your daughter-in-law, because I remember shit. But yeah. Thanks very much. And the necklace is in my drawer because I don't wear things like that. I just keep them so that I can keep them, and hopefully when I'm really massive and famous, I can go, remember this time that Karen gave me this? Yes, I haven't lost my accent. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You can take D out of Scotland, but not Scotland out of D.
You took the Scotland right out of Lulu.
Oh, did they?
Oh, she went on the telly and she's like, I just love my roots in Glasgow. And I'm like, right, okay, you better tell folk exactly where you stayed, and please show us a video when you actually spoke Scottish.
Yeah, exactly.
How you do that?
Well, we've all got our phone voices, but I tend not to put, you're obviously putting on your posh voice because this is the posh show. Otherwise, I wouldn't understand it. And likewise, my voice isn't as West Country as it normally is. But yeah, exercise. I just need to get into my head that I need to do shit. I need to get out. I felt better because I did it yesterday and today. I felt a lot better.
You look yesterday. A lot better. You're not trying at it. Obviously, everybody here wouldn't see, but obviously when we're behind, we go, oh, what kind of day have you had? And you can see your face is a wee bit less stressed, strained.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It feels a little bit lighter today, which is good. And that the fact that I've swindled the chemist out of 6 packets more antidepressants than I should have paid for. And they give you one box.
Prescriptions.
Yeah. So they give you one box, and I'm like, I'm not paying £10. It's not, one box doesn't even cover me for a month, so less than a month's worth of tablets. So I asked them to put it up, so they managed to give me 2 boxes. But because I was going to Australia for 3 months, the last thing on my prescription must be to cover 4 months. So I just got 4 months worth of tablets for a tenner. Result.
I know that.
Give it to the man.
I forgot that you because we don't pay prescriptions in Scotland. You know what I mean? All prescriptions are paid.
Yeah, this is it. Especially for things like antidepressants, I think it's horrific because, like times like now, I've got very little money for stuff. So to go up there and spend a tenner every couple of weeks on tablets is just something you've got to do, but something that you can't really afford to do. It's like food or fucking mental health.
I mean, I was speaking to a few folk about that as well, because we were talking about different things. I was speaking to the guy that I'm doing the real show with tomorrow, because we're doing alternative holistic therapies, and my friend that does Reiki's coming on. But I did loads of tablets for years, but I think because I had an illegal drug habit, I would even get to the stage that I'd take 3 paracetamol just to see if it done something different. Do you know what I mean? I'm one of those people that, does it give you a buzz? No, I don't want to take it then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've been on antidepressants since I was about 18. When I come off them, I'm not a good person. I'm not great.
I know you haven't, my friend. Hi. How do you say that, Cerys? Can you say the name?
Munir,
because I knew you. Munir, yeah. How you doing, darling? But yeah, I definitely think with that going forward. But I don't know. My head's really thinking over time now, because I'm now thinking with the hairdressers and stuff not being open, my life's pretty much getting to the state. I'm actually thinking now, am I going to look like Chewbacca's wee sister come July?
But does it matter?
But I mean, it kind of matters already, because without the wig, it's kind of like Wolverine.
I mean, I got my mum. My mum was on the Clippers yesterday. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's literally taken half my head away round here. It's like bald as fuck, but it's a little bit tidied up.
I'm actually considering shaving it off.
Yeah, well, I got to that point. I was like, we'll just grow back. I've never had a shaved head before. Should I do it?
I thought Sinead O'Connor get away with it. I think I'll get away with it. I've not. The only thing that's bothering me is I've got a double crown, as my grandma would call it, a double crown, a double crown at the back of your head. You know, so I've got that, and I would be quite worried I might look like a flat pack or something at the back. You know, there was just like a shelf or something.
See, my stepdad was from Glasgow, and we lost him last year. And just some of the stuff that you say, I'm like, oh, I remember Billy saying shit like that. Yeah. But I didn't understand the word he was fucking saying.
Yeah, if children were up to mischief, my grandma would always say, "Oh, they'd be in the crown of your head."
I love it. And there's so many. I love the difference. Like, you say shit up there that we don't say down here, and we say stuff down here that you don't. And that's what I love. That's what I love about different accents.
I remember going. Where was it? I was on holiday at a haven down that way, but just over the border. It was. What's it called? Oh, I can't remember. Haggerston Castle, right? So we went there, and I thought I was cool, and I was like 15, and I'm sure the guys were from Newcastle, and he kept going at me, and I was sitting with like 20 Regal cigarettes out on the table, because they know I'm 15 and I've got 20 Regal. I'm amazing, right? So I'm sitting it out on the table, and he's gone, "You got a tab?" And I'm like, "Do I look like a drug dealer?" And he's like, "You got a tab, mate?" And I'm like, "Sorry, no." And he's like, "Seriously, you got a tab, mate?" And I'm like, "I don't have any tablets." And he went, "No, mate, a cigarette." And I'm like, "A tab? A tab? When did you ever call a cigarette a tab?" Asking for Valium or something.
I've never been a smoker, right? But when I was about 16, I realised that all the lads I fancied all smoked. So on a Friday night at youth club, I used to go up to Freshers and get some Marlboro Lights and pretend I was a smoker. So they'd all come over. So then they'd come up to me and go, "Oh, Kev, have you got a cigarette?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I have. Here's a cigarette. You're so generous, Kev. How bad it smells." No, fuck off. But yeah, that was the only time I've ever really bought cigarettes, was just well, it's peer pressure, and it looked popular, but I never properly smoked them.
I smoked till I was 8.
What? What now?
Yes. And I was a fully-fledged illegal drug dispenser at the age of 12.
See, things are different up there, aren't they? I mean, I'm in the Cotswolds. I think I've done some shit in me time, but I wasn't smoking at 8 and I wasn't dealing drugs at 12. My son's 22 and he's only ever got drunk once. And that was sharing a stubby with 8 other lads.
Do you know what I did with my oldest daughter? See, because I was changing my life round about her, still changing, and I started to really resent the people round about me that made me think that my behaviour was cool, right? So I would like see like that when you do that and see drugs are bad, and before I knew it, my daughter was slowly going like that to me. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, Mum, you've done these things and you're describing it. And she's so far up her own arse sometimes. And I'm just like, I've made you into everything that I would have battled at school. You're the girl that I'd have cemented at school. But she's going to do her degree and become a primary teacher. So she's done all right. She's not smoked since she was 12 or anything like that. So I've managed to break the cycle. But yeah,
so
I was smoking.
Do you blame that on what? Family?
What?
Do you blame that on family?
Aye, because my gran, not the one that just passed away. I had one gran that's just passed away, and I always used to make jokes saying my gran that's alive, she bakes cakes and normal, but my other gran used to make me 5 skinners. You know what I mean? So my gran used to sit and smoke cannabis with me when I was 13 if I had a stress day at school. You know, when my exams were due, we'd have a wee joint together. So then I would get stoned and I would get round to my gran that makes cakes and eat half shortbread.
See, I'd just be down with the gran that was making the shortbread.
Yes, I
because my mum and dad never really drank, so I wasn't brought up in a house where people were drinking. So you go out to youth club and you're like, oh, what's everybody doing? And then you got like your mate's parents are fucking caning it.
That's the thing. My mum, that's the nuts thing. My mum doesn't smoke. She doesn't drink. She took drugs once after my dad passed away because I was wee when my dad died. And after he passed away, she took like these 3 blues things. But back then, blues were uppers. Because if I was to talk about blues now, I would say like a downer, like a smoke. That's quite similar to like putting you to sleep. I would say that was for.
Yeah.
So my mum was totally clean, straight laced, but her family around me were just crazy. Manty's in her 60s and still goes about with a hammer in her bag just in case.
This is hilarious. But it just goes to show that it just goes to show though it's different areas. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done my fair share. Like, I'm one of these people that's like, I'm not going to leave this earth without doing everything I wanted to do. So with regards to drugs and stuff, I've smoked weed. I'd try drugs if I wanted to try them, but I've never done a drug that has made me gone, wow, that was worth the money. Like LSD I did once, and all it did is give me a migraine. And the only trip effect that I had, my boyfriend was walking towards me and he just got gradually shorter and shorter as he got closer to me. And that was it. And I was like, have I just paid £10 for a fuck off headache and to watch my boyfriend grow into a dwarf? No, I don't want to do that. And then I used to buy, I did my first half an E at you're talking 2001. So I was quite old. 2001, the Millennium Dome, just after it had changed from the museum it used to be, and it was Ministry of Sound took it over for New Year's Eve. So I met somebody there, and I was like, I really want to do one. He's like, oh, I'll have half, and I'm like, oh my god, half. And then I fucked him in the disabled toilet.
Okay, as you do.
And lost my mate. She was spent the whole night. I lost her very early because these Ministry of Sound parties like 12 hours long. So I lost her very early on New Year's Eve. And what she did, because she was so drunk, was just got into a taxi, and the taxi just drove around the Millennium Dome all night and tried to give her a £650 bill. So I think she just sucked him off. and that was it. And then I found her outside because we couldn't use mobiles. We didn't really have mobiles and shit back then, and they weren't working. So then we got back on the train because we got the train to London. And we proceeded to fall asleep. She hadn't tipped beer over me. Got back to my mum's house, and my stepdad was making us a nice New Year's Day breakfast. He was doing scrambled egg and salmon. And she went upstairs to go to the toilet. And with that, we heard this almighty crash. To open the bottom of the stairs door to find her scraping her heeled boot all the way down the side of the stairs, tumbling down the stairs because she's so drunk. And that we left that mark in the stairs wall because we were just finding it funny.
Well, I use LSDs. Obviously, the man-made stuff takes ages. Now, let me do this disclaimer before I talk about my drug habits. I talk about my drug habits fondly because at the time I very much enjoyed them. However, the after effects and what they do to you for lifelong aren't they worth it, right? So let's just not glorify drugs because I'm not doing that, right? Because drugs are bad, kids, okay? But I used to take, and it was mushrooms. And I remember I took mushrooms, and mushrooms are one of those trips that you can last for days or last for hours. It just depends because it's a natural trip. And my friend's cat came in the room and everything was going great until that cat turned into a snake. And then I actually wrecked my pal's room, smashed all her hi-fi, her stacking system, trying to kill a snake. But it wasn't.
You killed the cat.
It was a fucking poor cat that never looked at me in this way. She's like, it's not a python. It's not a python. It's Garfield.
We're saying this about drugs and stuff. Like I said, I've never done anything that has been any good for any amount of time. I remember I got I tried like them once. I've never done coke, never done heroin, anything like that. So I did speed once, and I was supposed to be going to a rave. So I was at college, and my mate was like, "Let's go to this rave." I'm like, "Okay, I've got some speed." And he's like, "That's great." And at the last minute, he cancelled. So I went around my mate's house. I was like, "What am I supposed to do with this? I can't take it home." And she's like, "We'll make it into like a speed bomb," which was like wrapped up in cigarette paper. Yeah.
And the cigarette paper bump back in the throat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. Well, of course, I did that. And then we're just sat in her house with her parents watching TV. She didn't do it. I'm just sat there off me tits. So then we go to bed. So all night, she owns a tarantula anyway. So all night, I never slept a wink. It felt like I was on a train, just a moving train constantly, with a big spider just kept crawling across my face because it was above my head in its cage, and I must have been led on the floor like this all night, and I was like, "That's not fun. That's not fun." Why did people do that?
Talking about speed, right? I had a friend, right, and her mum was a dispenser of drugs, right? So she came into school and it was like a quarter ounce. It was a lot of shit of drugs for us at 15, right? She came into school, she was going to Everton that night. She'd stole it behind her mum's toaster and she was going to Everton that night and she was going to get absolutely hammered, right? So I took a lot of drugs at this time. And so she says, "Can you test it?" So I let it test it. I went, "That's really strong. Watch what you're doing with that," right? So then my other friend in school, let's just call him Derek, right? He was one of those guys that was out with the swagger. "Oh, I know everything about everything," but knew nothing, and told her, "That's shite. I wouldn't be taking any of that." So she took the lot, right? So we were sitting in HE making kedgeree, eggs and rice. I'll never forget it, right? And the next minute she starts doing this, like, and I've got no, honestly, and I'm sitting here panicking, going, and she's going, "It's rushing up the back of my head. I can't go." And she honestly, that's her face, and you could see the redness. So here's me going, "Right, you're thinking your feet, Denise. This is serious now. This lassie could die in all seriousness at the time." I'm thinking. So I went up to my teacher. I went, "Mrs. Martin," she said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm thinking you might overdose." She went, "Why?" I said, "Because she just took copious." This is what I said. "Copious amount of drugs. I'm not sure how much, but it's a lot more than I've ever taken, and I've took a lot of drugs." That's what I said to my teacher. So the next thing, she gets wheeled out the school. Obviously, she was in hospital for 3 days. Folk went in and seen her 3 days later, and she was still going to us. It was probably the last time she ever took drugs in her life, to be fair, right? So her mum's coming into the school, and she's coming up to the gate, and I'm going, they've had me and questioned me with the police and that. I know where she got the drugs, they says, but they're pure questioning me because they know I know something, but I can't exactly tell them that they came from behind your toaster. And she went like, "Well done, you're as wide as a Clyde hen, I'll sort you out after that." I went into the office, do you know what I mean? I went into the office and it all gets sorted, but I really honestly think to this day, the teachers thought that I gave her the drugs and we all covered it up, and I couldn't just say, "Listen, that her mum that's coming up to collect her to go to the hospital, they're her drugs and she's probably going to batter her because they're worth a fortune." But
exactly. See, the thing was, I did have a conversation with my mum about this because obviously I had Callum when I was quite young. I had him just after my 20th birthday, and I split up with his dad. His dad was violent, and I was with him from the age of like 18 to 23. So after that point, I felt like I'd missed out on a lot of stuff, so I started doing I did the E at the Millennium Dome, and then I sort of started doing them on the weekends or whatever. And the come down was so bad.
Horrible.
And I said to Mum, I bring this up with my mum, I was like, where the fuck was Callum? And she said, we had him every weekend. And that makes me feel fucking sick to my stomach.
I was terrible. I was partying with Marty, and you know what I mean? I was out all the time. And my daughter, I actually remember one time that I took ecstasy and my cousins and that, and we decided in our infinite wisdom, there's quite a big steep park hill in where I stay. It's really, when it's snowing, the kids use their sledges. It's brilliant, right? But it had been raining all night and we were mad with it. And we decided in our infinite wisdom that we'd roll down the park hill, right? And then walking up the road, and it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and my 3-year-old child, my oldest, looked at me and went, look at the state of you, Mum, get a bath. Right? And I just thought, oh my, and my mum went, no, never mind a bath, get to fuck.
Get to fuck. But this is the thing with me, look, like I could still, I'm always like, each to their own. Do what you want. If you want to do drugs, do drugs. What happened there? Lights gone off? What?
Yeah, man, and there's I've got electricity, it must be.
That's all right, I can still see you. The thing with do what you want to do, but when it gets to the point when you're in your 40s and you've got a couple of kids, you've got a full-time job and a wife and a house, now's the time to maybe stop doing drugs. So one of my mates, he's got like a VW camper van, so he'll come over and visit us over here, and he'll be like, oh, I'm going to smoke shitloads of weed tonight and stay in the camper van. And you're like, how about you just don't and just go home to your wife and kids because you're in your fucking 40s? What are you doing? And then the worst thing was at Glastonbury last year, like I'm there, and most of the comics there just all sort of established comedians, been in the industry for 20, 30 years. So they're in their 50s and they're all off the tits on MDMA. And I'm like, you're probably going to fucking kill yourself. Like Cal, my son's there with me, right? And all week, like, I don't, like, we established this anyway, I don't drink a lot. There's times if I want to get pissed, I'll get really pissed. But reality, if I'm at Glastonbury and I'm working, I'm not fucking drinking because I'm working. So the 2 days I wasn't working on the run up, I had probably a couple of cans. The 3 days I was working, I don't drink because I need to keep my head about me. I've got a 4-hour fucking compare spot to do. Now, when you've got one female comedian come up to you and the stench of weed coming off her was unbelievable. How she managed to do her set, well, let's just put it this way, she kind of didn't manage to do her set because she was so out of it. You know when they're so out of it that they think they're doing well, but they're really not. So that's how it gets, and I'll never forget that. I'm like, I'm at Glastonbury, I'm privileged to be here, I'm getting paid to be here, my son's here with me, we're having a fucking whale of a time. I'm not going to ruin that by being a dick, doing drugs or getting pissed and then not be able to do my job properly. And like I said, this guy in his 50s, nearly 60, his son turned up and he's like, oh, he came up to me, I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, my son's got me to do MDMA. And I'm like, all right, like, maybe you shouldn't in your 50s, maybe, like, it's not a good look on you. He thought it was huh?
Not with your child.
Well, the child was 21.
You know, I actually do. I've got a lot of friends that smoke weed, and I actually don't have a problem with it because I've actually got more time and know exactly where I am with them. And then I'll go and sit with my friends that have a wine and things can change all quickly. But one of my friends with this lockdown, so she phones me up the other day there, she knows my extensive experience on drugs. And she says to me, well, I've had enough of this lockdown, so I'm going to take magic mushrooms on a hill walk. I was like, sorry? She's like, I'm going to take magic mushrooms on a hill. And I'm thinking, there's absolutely fuck all that can go wrong with that. You know, you're going to be tripping. What are you going to do? Get to the top of the hill and then decide that you might be able to fly, but oops, no, you can't. And like Ronald, my mate, had said, oh, trips aren't like that. You don't think like that. I said, well, you obviously haven't had good trips up the way you get ours, because there's plenty of people. I've talked to people that aren't even there. And she said to me, she was talking to people down at the bottom of the hill, and they just looked at her and wouldn't answer. I says, you were either doing this or they weren't there. That's your two options. And I'm thinking, you're in your 40s, you're up a fucking hill, and you're full of mushrooms. I mean, I'm so glad you managed to get home. And she went, I feel lovely. I feel great. I'm just glad you're alive.
I see. I was saying this.
She said, we've got halfway up. I get halfway up, and I decided this probably isn't a good idea.
That's a nice exercise. My mate who's about 15 years younger than me, we decided to go to Amsterdam a few years ago, and neither of us are druggies. I don't think she's ever fucking done drugs in her life. Like, at least I've smoked some weed and whatever else. So the first night we had these hash cakes, and we literally we're filming ourselves doing it. Nothing at all. We're like, what the fuck's this bollocks? So obviously, like, just sold us muffins. And then the next day we decided to do truffles, which are disgusting. So I had quite a bit stronger than hers, because obviously, like I said, she'd never done it. Oh my God, she was off her tits. Some of the videos now, looking back, are hilarious. So then on the third day, I was like, well, let's go into like a cafe, and I'm gonna smoke a spit. So the bloke was like, how much do you normally smoke? And I was like, not really any. And he's like, I'll give you the lowest dose. I was like, ooh, whatever. Like a quarter of the way through that, I started putting a whitey. I'm like, this is the stuff we used to have at home. Not a chance. No. I've never had proper stuff at all. So I had to stop, put it back in its tube, put it in my bag. I had to go back to the hostel, and I literally could not move for about an hour. My head was spinning, my face was all white, and Ruth was like, what's the matter? I'm like, do you never want to experience this? This is fine. I'm not a smoker. I can't do this shit.
Well, me and my ex, my oldest, we'll tell you this and then we'll head off. But my ex, my oldest, we went to Amsterdam for the weekend. We went with EasyJet, and when Anne Frank did all that, but we both liked to puff then. We did puff at home. Do you know what I mean? So we were going there for the puff. So we went into a few cafes, and we were conditioned smokers. So we did think they were better. And we had some White Widow and all these different things. And you know how in Amsterdam, the stairwells are so narrow. They're just like, every building you go in, it's like these stairs are made for small people.
Yeah.
And we just hit the giggles, and we're trying to get to the third floor, but it's slatted steps, right? So I hit the giggles, obviously not long had a baby, right? But it's slatted stairs, to bear this in mind, right? So I lose control of all my senses, and I start pissing, right? And it starts dripping down, and I don't know what the guy said, but it was absolutely raging. And Dutchie was just fucking screaming at me because I'd literally pissed on his head.
Got the shower for free in Amsterdam. What more does he want?
But that's what I'm saying. I couldn't even speak. The more he shouted in his Dutch accent and said, the more I pissed, and the more I pissed in his head, and the more he didn't move. I'm like, why are you not moving? I can't move.
Oh, dear me. Oh, and that's myself just every day.
Yeah, I just think everyday experiences. I do think because I have done psychology and not going into it too deep, I think a little of something that makes you relax doesn't do you any harm. And I don't mean hardcore drugs. I mean a smoke here. And the same way as you don't abuse them. Oh, fuck's sake, I'm buckled.
I'm a big believer in CBD and THC and stuff like that. I've properly researched that. Obviously, with both my dad and my stepdad dying from cancer, I'm proper into researching that.
THC, the illegal one here. I know people that have taken that, and it has cured the cancer firsthand. Know these people. There's a woman in my town locally they told her she was terminal, and it cured her. So I'm a big believer in, but you've got to do everything in moderation. But as always, we've spoke over as we do. Kane's probably sitting there going, like, shut the fuck up now. But so we've talked about all sorts of things tonight. We got on to a wee thing about drugs, but just keep your spirits high, keep going, keep moving forward. Don't you want to say, Cerys, before we head off?
No, just that. Like, I'm feeling a bit better. This is perking me up every week, and obviously it's good just talking. Things like that, learning things like that, Angela, is the best thing.
I don't feel so bad. But anyway, this has been D Does Posh with Cerys Nelmes. We'll see you the same time next Monday, all right? Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.